I'm Louise Reich, and my company is Advanced Media. We basically do interactive internet marketing and web development. And basically today, one of the reasons that we decided to choose the topic of location-based mobile marketing is that most of us today have phones that are with us all the time. And advertisers today are starting to realize what a great opportunity to work with advertising with people that have a device that they can serve ads to at any time, pretty much day or night, whenever your phone is on. So what you can do if you have a mobile device, you might want to turn off the sound, not necessarily turn off the mobile device, but you might just want to turn the sound down. Now you have that option. You can do a vibrate or something else. And the reason that you might want to do that is that if it's a smartphone, it's GPS enabled, and if you've told people where you are, you probably want them to know you're still here in case they want to visit with you. And we'll talk a little bit about how that works too. So the scope of this is quite comprehensive if you look at it. So one of the things that I'm going to do is talk about, on the left-hand side, the foundation. In other words, what is mobile marketing today? What are the components? How is it related to advertising? How can you get to be part of this ecosystem? And then matching your opportunities and understanding also the vehicles and platforms that are necessary. On the other side, I'm going to talk a little bit about what kinds of location-based services there are already out there that could be fun for you to explore if you haven't. One thing I would just like to ask is, how many of you actually are on Foursquare already? Nobody. Okay. So today's going to be a very interesting day for everybody, because the things that I'm going to be talking about, if you have a smartphone or intend to get a smartphone, this will help you see what's out there and what possibilities you have. On the other hand, if you are a person who has a store, physical store or location, you can see what opportunities you might have with location-based advertising for your store or your location. And there are some big players today on doing that. And again, why? Why? Because we have this device and it's with us all the time. It basically is our computer. So here's sort of the components of internet marketing in general. And the blue is what's been available all along, and there are subcategories that come under many of these. For example, you have email marketing. Well, you can have mobile email marketing as well. We're not going to really talk about that too much today, but basically you still can do some of that. Search marketing is huge. There is paid search, organic search, but there's also mobile search. So that's really a very important piece. There is no affiliate marketing right now for mobile. Web development and landing page development, absolutely. You have basically mobile websites. That's the last, you have mobile web and mobile applications that you have versions of, and I'll talk a little bit about how that works on mobile, because obviously the screen is small, so you have to think about how you translate that, and also the demographics are a little different as well. Online display ads, rich media, all of that, you do have it. Text messaging, not so much, but they have a new thing, MMS, which is the text messaging plus some media as well. You can do a lot of the same kinds of media that you can do in web. Social marketing, there's social web marketing, and I'll talk about that. That's really the fun part. And then you have, basically the same applications that I was talking about before. Okay. So let's look at the ecosystem for a moment. First, we look at the channel. Now, we have browser-based display ads. Browser-based means that if you have a smartphone, now some of you may have what they call feature phones. How many of you have smartphones? Okay, which means the other people have what they call feature phones, and you may have some features that enable you to do some of these things, but you may not have all. If you have a smartphone, right now you have 2 channels. You can go onto your browser, and you can open up your browser and you can get to things through the browser, or what they call native apps. Now what native apps mean is that if I have a Droid and I have a GPS-enabled phone, that means my phone is always enabled to find out my location. But if I do a browser, it won't know where I am. So if I build an app that requires me to know location, I need to have that GPS function enabled. So today I might need to build that application on a phone that has that natively built into the phone. And I'll show you a slide a little later that shows that in a couple of years from now, you're not going to have to worry about that, because the browsers will be enabled for that same functionality. But right now, that's what you have, and you have the messaging. Consumer access path. Right now, we have to get to it from a URL, which is either a www or a short code, or the application. Now, advertisers today are working with what they call short codes. But if you're advertising with a short code, it means you have to, there are only a few websites that actually accept and have all those short codes. You have to apply for them. Sometimes it could take 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 4 to 5 months to get approved with a short code, so that people can just type in that short code and then get right to your website or to your device. The format right now, we call it smart publishing. You have HTML, you have JavaScript, Flash. You have to work within those systems to build your web or your application. And SMS, as I said, are text messages. MMS means text messages enhanced, which means you can have video, audio, and any kind of other type of media that you can use on the regular web. You can use with those messages as well. Now, the delivery, if you want to be an advertiser, you have to use an ad serving and ad management network, like basically Google has AdMob, and if you go with Apple, it's iAd. So you have to go through those networks, and then there are some smaller ones too. But you'd have to go to someone who knows how to manage those networks if you want to advertise on the mobile today. Okay, and then, you know, obviously campaign services. Now, I just want to point out this. Since you have your mobile device with you, you have a very strong relationship to the point of sale. You are right there, typically in the store or at the location of what you need. So if you're at Starbucks, you're in Starbucks. You might be in Best Buy. So what do they want from you as far as call to action? Now, for those of you that have really, really good websites that actually do marketing with your website, so you have search marketing, you drive traffic to your website. If you have a really good website, on the website, you would have very good language, what we call conversion, on that landing page, so that you pull that client through and have them do what you want to do. Maybe pick up the phone and make a phone call, maybe buy a product, whatever. Now, we have the same kinds of call to action, but you have even more enhanced call to action because they're actually in your store. So this sort of goes with the SMS. In other words, you could have click through to a mobile site, you know, and people, you have to think about, why would people use their phone for these kinds of activities? Well, let's say you're driving somewhere and you're thinking about, well, I need to find a location that has, let's say, shoes or something. You want to find out all the shoe stores in your nearest area. You're in your phone, you're in your car, and you want to enable your phone so that you know, it's a quicker search because you're really close to where you need to be. This would lead to a website landing page. This would click to send a message to somebody. You might want to invite somebody or have somebody share. Let's say you have a product that you've picked out. You may want somebody to look at it with you at the same time, so you might call them and have them do that with a text message, and then click to call the store, find out hours, things like that. Now, with the campaigns, this word is wrong. This is supposed to be votes. So for those of you, we'll probably change it when we get back. We noticed it after we wrote it. But the voting sites, in other words, the I like it, how many votes does it get, sweepstakes, alerts, subscriptions, you can do all of that from your phone. And then transactions, ticketing, couponing, and now you can even buy things. There's special codes that you can even go and sign up, and you don't even need to have a credit card. You have a system that can work without even the credit card. So, mobile paid search. Now, it's okay. He's leaning on. Okay, that's okay. Mobile search is different. Okay.
There, to keep things
There you go. Absolutely. Keeps everybody awake. Okay, everybody, wake up. All right. So mobile search is different. Number one, your searches are shorter and more generic. You don't want to type a lot. So you're going to really go for, a key concept that you need now. As I said, you might be looking for a phone number, you might be looking for an address, you might be looking for a product, a store. So it's going to be more direct. You're going to be goal-driven. Obviously, in mobile, you have a higher what we call click-through rate. In other words, once you find what you need, you're going to click on it because it's the next piece of that information that you're looking for. So you're more likely to click through if you're on your phone. And then the cost per click is less right now. This is the same thing. I heard a presentation a while ago about 1995. There were 5,000 websites. And I was saying, we've been in business since 1995. And I was saying, that's why it must be so easy to have all of our clients on page one in 1995 if you only have 5,000 websites. In 1996, there were 18,000 websites. Well, yesterday, there were probably several trillion websites out there, or billion, or whatever. So it's much harder today. A lot of the pay-per-click that Google does with AdWords, it's expensive today to do pay-per-click in a lot of very competitive areas. But this is still a new emerging market, so your cost is going to be less because the market is just starting out. This is just very new, but it's big. It's huge, and it's going to be even bigger in the very near future. So if you get on it now, there's a chance that you can get some advertising at lower dollars than you would down the road if you have the right characteristics of needing a mobile advertising program. And Google-powered phones, 29% of the searches are voice searches. Now, I don't know whether some of you know how to enable your voice on a Droid, but it's really nice because you can do everything just by talking into your phone, which is the wave of the future. So you have voice-enabled search, which is great. So again, that's now you can see 500% growth in mobile search from 2008 to 2010. So it's definitely going in that direction. Okay. So this is text messaging. Now, why is texting so huge? Well, it is huge because it's very, very popular. Most people text each other. Rather than even phone calling today, text messaging is huge. And there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why text messaging is, if you're sitting in a presentation like this and somebody wants to get in touch with you, they should text message you because then you can read it and let's face it, a lot of people are doing their job and reading their email and, looking at their text messages and doing a lot of things. So you're multitasking at the same time. I see most of you are not doing that, which is a good thing. But I wouldn't, people check their email, probably every 10 minutes, or more, So that it's the biggest reach of any platform so far. So text messaging is the biggest reach. Now, what are your options? Well, you can have text content, you can have product information, you can have tips in there, polls, trivia questions, anything you want within that text message. It can go along with the message. You can have a link in the text message to a mobile site. You could have a link to a map, a store locator. You could have a click to call within a text message. You could lead consumers to a particular store. I'm going to show you at the end some videos about some of the services that are out there that are so much fun to go on. And then you can have multimedia such as images, ringtones, all kinds of good stuff like that.